And welcome back. Everyday Bronx is an exhibition exclusively, I should say, featuring photographs from its followers and rewrites the narrative of the Bronx, one photo at a time, telling complex stories from often overlooked daily lives right here in our borough. And joining us now to tell more is the founder of Everyday Bronx. We've got Rhynna Santos, and also we've got contributing photographer Roselyn Grullon. Thank you so much for being with us, and thank you for sharing. And Rhynna, I'll start with you. Tell me a little bit about Everyday Bronx. When we talk about the borough of the Bronx, so much out there, but you've taken an opportunity to really try to capture the essence of what we have here in the borough.
Absolutely. First of all, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having us. And the Bronx, there's so many misconceptions about the borough of the Bronx, about who lives here, the type of life that happens here, and what Everyday Bronx, which is an Instagram account, we are part of the Everyday Projects. What we really want to tell is a more corrective history of our borough and the people who live and work here. And we do that through showing images taken by people who work and who live in the Bronx. And the most wonderful thing about it is that it's curated by people who also live here in the Bronx. So it's curated with a Bronx point of view.
Have this exhibition coming up, and what can people expect?
Well, they can expect over 300 images. Also, we have slideshows and we have different videos. We also have a magnificent mural that was done during the exhibition by Kay Love, who is an excellent graffiti artist here in the Bronx. And it basically is, image by image, it tells individual stories that make a whole. And of course, the account continues to grow, so we continue to add images day by day.
And Roselyn, I want to bring you in because you have the opportunity to actually be a part of this exhibition. You are sharing your photography. And what is it that people who are going to take an opportunity to see your work, what are they going to be able to experience?
Thank you so much for having me. So I guess they're just going to experience the real Bronx and, the Bronx through each contributor's perspective. Their stories, their environment, the people they capture, and just everyone's individual experience of the Bronx. I feel like that's the main thing they're going to experience.
And when we talk about individual experiences of the Bronx, can you give me a little bit more detail as to and what does that look like? What does that come across as?
I guess thinking about, people's certain neighborhoods, the people they're around, what they love capturing. Me specifically, I love capturing the 6th Street. I love capturing Longwood, which is my neighborhood. And I feel like with Everyday Bronx, like that's the essence of it, like the curation and curating people's photography and showcasing that.
Yeah. And Rhynna, when we talk about showcasing talent, we've got a lot of talent right here in our very own backyard. How hard is it for you to get people together and get people to share their talent with you?
Well, we ask our followers, if you want us to repost your images, to use the hashtag EverydayBronx for us to be able to consider your photo for reposting. You can also add us, and that would also help us to look at the images, because we also we always give credit to all the photographers. We want to ensure that we are really highlighting the talent that is here by contributors that do share our images. And in the beginning of the feed, it was very difficult. The beginning, we started in 2014 and Instagram had only been around for a little bit. And so there wasn't that culture of hashtag. And so there weren't that many images that we use. But now, thank God, with the popularity of the feed, we're able to have a lot of images to choose from. But we always want more. And please, if you don't follow Everyday Bronx, please give us a follow at Everyday Bronx on Instagram.
We talked in the beginning about the narrative and how the Bronx has been, looked at. And for a long time, we've always been receiving some knocks, some fair, but mostly a lot of times people just look at the Bronx and have an adverse opinion of it. Your work, exhibition, showing these photos, how do you feel like the landscape has changed through the lens of people based on what you've been able to bring to the table?
I know that I see a big difference, at least on this platform, Instagram, on what is hashtags Bronx, the kind of stories. One thing that is really important for us to create this online archive that you can look up, images of the Bronx taken by people who actually work and live there, not by, photographers that drop into the borough. And I think that everybody has an opinion of the Bronx, and it usually is incredibly negative, and that affects our community. And what's beautiful about this project is that it is about community revolution, community documenting and telling their own stories. And I do think now that there is a tide. The reason that we really push cell phone photography on Instagram is because it's accessible, and so we want as many people to have access to tell their own stories, not for other people to tell the story of what the Bronx is. And we, number one, do this account for Bronxites. We want Bronxites to be proud of where they come from, to also see the complexity of who we are and the incredible historical contributions that we've made, not just to the Bronx or to New York City, but the world.
And Roselyn, you talked about your community, and hopefully people will be able to see your community in a different light. What is it in particular that you're looking to highlight, what you're looking to show, that maybe everybody else may not be so familiar with?
I guess the beauty of it all, also kind of documenting the Bronx now because it is a changing landscape, and also bringing into important issues going on in the neighborhood as well, like gentrification or just issues that we go through as a community. So I think showcasing that through photography.
And for you, what's the greatest, takeaway that you got out of this experience? Going back into your home community, looking, shaking photos, and bringing to life really what some people don't know anything about.
I guess being able to capture that and showcasing that through social media, and also connecting with all these other Bronx people and photographers, and the work that we do and showcase. So that creating that connection and being part of it was amazing.
Yeah. Rhynna, before we go, let's talk about how people can really have an opportunity to take advantage of these great images that really portray our borough in such a beautiful way.
You can see our exhibition at the Bronx Documentary Center at 614 Courtlandt Ave in the South Bronx. Gallery hours from Thursday to Sunday, and the exhibition will be up until May 14th. Well, we're going to have a big culminating event where people are going to be able to take portraits for Mother's Day. And also, don't forget, follow us on Instagram. We want to hit our goal of 50,000 followers.
All right, well, that's good information there. We got to leave it there. Thank you both so much for joining us. Congratulations, and yes, keep putting our borough in the best light possible. Thank you for the work that you guys do.
Thank you.
All righty. Well, I want to let you know, for more information, you can visit their website at Everyday Bronx. As she said, trying to get to 50,000 followers, and that's achievable, so help them out. Don't go anywhere. We got more open coming up right after this.